Okay, so today is day one, episode 1 of a bulking diaries series. I've wanted to jump on YouTube for ages. I've just never known how to do it or what I would talk about. I'll talk about that a bit later today, but the gist of today is I'm going to do a full eating day and also take you to the gym. So I've got chest and tris today. Other than that, there'll be little snippets, but it's mainly just revolved around my food and training. So with that being said, meal 1 of the day. I've already done some cardio. Already smashed out a bit of work. It's about 8:30, which is a bit later than I usually eat. But we're gonna have a shake, which is my breakfast for today. Okay, so in this shake, we've got oats, peanut butter. It's usually blueberries, but I don't have any this morning, which is a great way to start. But I'm gonna switch it out for raspberries. Definitely not my first choice, but make it happen. Peanut butter, creatine, chocolate whey protein, and then these two, which are both just like mushrooms. If you know of cordyceps and lion's mane, you know what they are. If not, look into them. I recommend. Not going to talk about it though. What else do we need? So starting with some water. Don't measure this, but it's usually about the same spot every time. Then we're going 90 grams of oats. It's not breakfast unless you make a mess. Cool, 90 grams of oats. Then we've got a scoop of creatine. One scoop of protein powder. So 20 grams of peanut butter. Super important. This is just like straight peanuts. Some of them, especially the cheaper brands, obviously have like oils and stuff in them, which you don't want. It's just a lot of calories unaccounted for. So straight peanut butter. How did that happen? Okay, so for the peanut butter, I've never made this much of a mess. Of course, the first time it's on camera. So we've got 20 grams of this. Cool, then we've got 100 grams of berries. Again, this is usually blueberries, but raspberries are close enough. And then for these two, these aren't measured, but I usually just do like half a teaspoon. Let me do half a teaspoon of this. So that is our breakfast shake. I'm obviously going to blend that up and then I can go over calories and macros in a second. Okay, so that's sort of breakfast for me done for now. There's another option I have, which is eggs and some other stuff. I just find this a lot easier to get down in the morning, especially because I'm in a bulk at the moment and I can sort of multitask while I do it rather than having eggs and having both hands occupied. So that'll be me for a couple of hours. I'll sit here, do some work. The calories in that and macro breakdown is, there's 43 grams of protein, 49 grams of carbs, 23 fats, and 14 fiber. So yeah, that's meal 1. Sit here for a couple of hours and then we'll move on to meal 2, which is my pre-gym meal, and then we'll go to the gym. Okay, so meal 2, I have a pre-gym meal. It's cream of rice, so it's literally protein. It's cream of rice, but this is actually rice flour. It's just a lot easier to find I kind of prefer it because it kind of cooks into like a cake. So cream rice, protein powder, and banana. Also throw like a little bit of salt on there as well for the pumps. And then, so everyone has their own method of cooking this. This is just the one that works best for me. So for our weights, we have 100 grams of cream rice or rice flour, or whatever you want to call it. We have another scoop of protein. And then the water, I don't really measure it. I kind of know where it is, but kind of just mix this up. Once that is all mixed, we've got 150 grams of banana. This probably isn't going to be 150 grams, so we'll just have to add a bit more. That is meal 2. Bit of salt on top for the sodium. Throw that in the microwave and that'll come out like a cake with like caramelized banana on top. Oh, okay, so this is meal 2. Already done a couple of hours of work and gonna watch an episode of something while I eat this. At the moment it's Baki Hanma. The calories for this are 34 grams of protein, 110 grams of carbs, virtually no fat. There's like less than a gram of fat, and a couple grams of fiber as well. So obviously super high in carbs, fast digesting. This is definitely my go-to pre-gym meal. Like I've done the cereals and a protein shake, and although they digest a little bit faster, I feel like this just is a much more solid food source to be training on. So yeah, always my first pick. So gonna eat this, gonna watch an episode, and then we'll head to the gym. All right, so we are on the way to the gym. That meal is well and truly digested now. I've got a pre-workout, which is just a pump formula, non-stim. I had a coffee this morning, but I don't need the caffeine these days. The days of me needing to double scoop 350 milligrams of caffeine to get through a session is just long gone. I feel like the sessions now, in a calmer state of mind, they feel better. You can really think about what you're doing, and it's weird. It's a different frame rate. I feel like when you're younger, you kind of need that like hyper, not aggression, but just like energy to like really push yourself in sessions. And then I think as you get older, when you really start to understand like why you're there, like why you're doing what you're doing, it becomes a lot easier to focus through those sessions. Maybe that's just me, but yeah, I think that's quite an interesting like note to take note of. So bit of a ramble there, but we're on the way to the gym. We're actually checking out a new gym. So I know that this gym is quite small, but because we're training chest and tris, we don't need a whole lot. Basically just some heavy dumbbells and a cable machine for triceps. But other than that, we should be pretty sweet. I mean, if the dumbbells don't go heavy enough, which is a possibility, they will have a bench press somewhere, and that could be pretty cool. I mean, I haven't bench pressed in over a year and a half, so that'll be interesting to see how much that weight has gone up. But yeah, we'll make it work either way. Strength is fucking sick at the moment. Like this whole like last 3 years, I wouldn't say that I've been in a strategized bulk, but because it's been very on and off, and there's been phases where I've just been too bogged with work to give it everything. These days I can focus on it a little bit more. So I say that there was no strategy to bulk, but the general consensus behind what I was looking for was always a little bit more weight. So always pushing a bit more food, always trying to get my body weight up, and get a bit stronger. Like at no point have I wanted to get really lean throughout those last couple of years. So now we're going to I've got 8 weeks left on this bulk with the coach. So for that 8 weeks, going to really aggressively be pushing the food. Try to get up above those triple digits, like sitting at 98, 99, kind of fluctuating at the minute. But I think at the end of those 8 weeks, anything I can get up over 100, and then that'll be a really solid place to sort of start pulling back. So yeah, it's not that long. Like I thought 8 weeks was a lot, but it's like 60, no, it's just under 6 days. It's 50 something days. So 50 days to lock in, and then the real fun begins, I guess, like trying to strip it all back and see what we've actually managed to build over those last couple of years. So excited for that. That's gonna be really cool. It's not to get on stage or anything at this point. It's just sort of for the progression and seeing where we're at. But I'm actually lost. I don't know where this gym is and I can't use a map. So we're gonna find this gym and then we'll start some chest and right, so I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear this because the music's quite loud, but as suspected, the dumbbells only got up to 50, so we're gonna rock with the bench press. So the reason I'm doing that is because at the moment I'm running 2 chest days a week. So this first day is a bit lower volume, higher intensity, going for like 6 to 8 reps for most things, at a maximum of sort of 10 reps. We do a burnout later on, but so with that being said, I've already done a warm-up, I'm going to do another warm-up. Actually felt really good. As I said before, like haven't done bench press in fucking almost a year. Obviously it's not up to the normal, but yeah, I mean, it feels good. I can still get a nice contraction and I'll be able to go really heavy with it. And then our later session in the week, we can focus on sort of more on the contraction, lighter weight. But for now, we're just trying to tear up that muscle as much as possible with some heavy weight. So do another set and then we'll throw on some more weight. With it being so long since I've done bench press, we could be on to break the PB here, but I mean, it's not the goal. I won't be going for it, but we'll see how we feel. There's 100 on there now. If we get past to like 130, that'll easily be a PB. So yeah, see what happens. That feels pretty good. I'm gonna have to go up from there. So I've put 10 on each side. This is like in line with the PB, I think. I can't even remember, it's been so long. So I can't even remember what reps I got at this weight. So this will be not a working set, just gonna feel the weight here for like 2 or 3 reps. If it does feel like the right weight, then I'll probably just go through. Otherwise I'll re-rack it and maybe chuck on another 5 each side, but we'll see how we go with this. We've got a bit more, let's go. The only thing I'm skeptical about is these like powerlifting bars, they've got so much rotation in them that it's very easy for your wrists to tweak. Like I hate wearing these things, but with these bars, like they're just so hard to stabilize, especially when you're getting heavy and you got like little elbow wiggles. So I'm gonna try these on just for the sake of it. I honestly thought I had another one until I caught the edge on the way down. Either or, we'll aim for 6 to 8. Pretty happy with that. So do a back off set from that. And then we'll move on to the next exercise. I'm only ever doing 2 working sets per exercise. If you're doing 4 sets at 12 reps and getting 12 reps every set, you're not working, they're warm-ups. So something I see a lot is guys doing like 4 working sets or hitting their top range every time. It's like you've probably got another 10 in the tank for those first 2 sets. Like they're not doing anything, they're just warming up the muscle. So that's sort of the strategy for the day for all exercises at the moment. So just strip some weight off this and focus more on the negative. Alright, so strip the 10s off. Doing 110 now. The aim of this one is to control it on the way down. So just 4-second negatives, getting a really deep stretch and then contract. So still heavy, like still looking to fail at that 6 to 8, but with the extra negative, which will make it harder for the less weight. So you get this done. That's pretty good. Got a good pump through there. So that's me done for this one. Usually we do like an incline machine. Actually, there's one just there, so you jump on that now. Okay, so on the incline press now. Also got an intra carb here, so this is a part of the plan. 30 grams of carbs, doesn't really matter where from, can be lollies or liquid carbs from a Gatorade. Yes, 36 grams in this, so that's exactly what we're looking for, just to sip on through our workout. And then there's an amino acid drink that I'll have after as well. But throw some plates in this and start going. So as I mentioned before, like only doing 2 working sets per exercise, but I don't want to be jumping straight into a top set, so I'll always do at least 1 feed a set, if not 2 if I need it, but usually it's only 1 after that first exercise. So this will just be a feeder set, just getting a feel for it, making sure everything's warm enough. It's a different angle, it's slightly different supporting muscles. So yeah, we're gonna do that. To be honest, I'm not a massive fan of the hammer strength machines. They just never really seem to line up, at least to me. Like even that didn't feel amazing compared to the one I usually use. So I've never trained at this gym, so all machines are a bit different. But get it done, still do the same thing. It's just a bit harder for me to find that contraction. But go pretty heavy on this. Looking for like 8 to 10. I'm gonna try. We'll do a drop set after that. So let's get this.
Take it up. Slow, steady, twist.
Yeah, that's actually too light, so correct myself, 2 feeder sets. Okay, so we got a bit more weight on there now. We'll go for that 8 to 10. Almost didn't make it that time. Oh. That actually felt good. It's heavy, but still keeping it through there. I find with some of these incline machines, it's quite hard for me to keep it out of my shoulders. Just like really got to focus on keeping them back, pushing through the chest, but that actually felt quite good. Yeah, we're getting there. Alright, so this is our back off set now. Second working set. It's going to be a triple drop set. So just 33% decreases, so just one plate each time. Basically it's going for failure. Don't really care how many reps, it's just failure for each one. So do that. Oh fuck. Notice with that last set, even though it's super light, what I see a lot of guys do is they'll drop the weight in drop sets all the way back, but then they're still just trying to throw the weight. Personally, I think that's just so that they can get it over and done with quicker. But if you really want to get the most out of a drop set, instead of just trying to throw around 20 kilos for 15, 20 reps, I'd much prefer to control it more, stretch the fuck out of it more when there's all of that blood in there, and then just feel like you're gonna tear it up way more and you're gonna get way more out of that than trying to throw around 20 kilos. Like, even though it's a drop set and it hurts like fuck, that's the fatigue that's hurting, it's still light. Doesn't matter. And when you get lighter, the more lighter it gets, just more control, push through the muscle. Alright, so third chest exercise is a cable fly. There is a machine here, and I was setting up on it before I saw this. Personally, I just way prefer the machine. I don't feel like, I way prefer the cable. I just don't feel like the machine, I don't know, I just can't get as good of a contraction. I feel like the cables are just a lot better at that. So I'm gonna start with that. So going for like 10 to 8, 8 to 10 I should say. And then we will do 2 burnout sets, right? A bit higher reps. So that's the only time in this whole workout the rep range goes sort of above, for chest anyway, sort of above that 10 range mark, rep range. So. Chair's a little bit wobbly, so that's gonna make life hard, but it's right, we'll get done. Okay, so I've already done one feeder set for this. I'm gonna put the weight up now. So last week we got at 21 we got So at 21 we got 11, so I actually hit the top of the rep range. So we want to go down to 26. So trying to look for the bottom of that rep range again and then stick with that weight and we'll go up. So side note, if you don't have a book, get one. I don't know how you expect, or anyone expects to progress without actively recording it, because you don't know what you did the last week. If you're just coming in and you're just going to failure, like that's great, but some days you're gonna feel worse than others. Some days you're gonna just be more mentally fatigued than other days. So how are you gonna know what you're aiming for and just acting essentially off like what you feel? Because some days you're gonna feel shittier than others. Doesn't mean that the progression has to suffer. You can still actively try to pursue those targets to the best of your ability. Like I know if I feel shit one day and I just come in here and I try to do as much as I can without any real target, I might do okay. But if I come in here thinking I hit 12 last week, I need to get 13 or 14 this week or go heavier, I'm much more likely to hit that target. Not everyone will do it, but for those that do, we'll go a lot further. So it's actually too light. Should go on heavier for that. Put the weight up and hit the rep range again. So at least you know for next week, like we can put that weight up even more. So maybe we'll put up like 2 more plates next week. Maybe I was having an off week last week, who knows. But that's the whole point of tracking. So next week I know, doesn't matter if I feel shit or not, that's the target. I have no idea if you can hear any of this because I'm sitting right underneath the speaker, but basically this set is a rest pause set. So for that, what we're gonna do is put the weight down a little bit. We're gonna go to failure, rest 15, failure, rest 15. We're gonna keep doing that rest pause to failure until we can only get 3 reps. Not like disgusting reps, like 3 proper contractions, and then we're done. So So that is chest done. Don't really do much more than that. It is quite low volume. Obviously, there's a couple drop sets in there which make it not so low volume, but they're more back off sets. All of our top sets are really low volume, high intensity, and that's what's really. So, from here we're going to do some triceps. Been loving skull crushers lately. I don't, again, know if the barbells are going to go heavy enough. If that's the case, we will figure something out. We might do some wide and then some narrow grip. So we'll go find them now. Okay, so the bars do go quite heavy here, but there's no bench. So gonna do this anyway, which works quite well. So it's gonna be a bit more of a wide grip tricep push. And then we're gonna switch up with some stuff. So again, it's really heavy. Trying to look for failure at like 6 to 8 for this one. We'll do a couple warm-ups here though, even though there is a bit of blood in that muscle already from obviously doing bench and stuff. We will get a bit more in there, warm up the joint a little bit more, and then we'll start going quite heavy. I have a feeling this actually isn't going to be heavy enough. Poor Sam Sula can throw some 20 kilo plates on it, but we'll get in trouble doing that. Right, so we've got one more warm up. Put it a fair bit heavier now, so it should feel quite heavy, and then we might bump it up a little bit more. If we can't get 6 to 8, if we don't fail at 6 to 8 with this rep, we'll just push through, just making do with what we've got, but it should be pretty heavy. So. Right, so this sack isn't going to be heavy enough. It's just the way it is. So those ones over there are a little bit heavier, but there's someone on them, and I'd rather just do this than wait. So we will be going heavier than 6 to 8, but again, we'll just be looking for that absolute failure. So whoever that is, it is, but it'll still do the same thing. So. So it actually is as many as I thought it was actually pretty heavy, so still happy with that. Again, sort of following the same structure we did with chest. So on the first chest exercise, went really heavy and then did 4-second negatives with slightly lighter weight. We're going to do the same thing here. So as I mentioned, doing the same as we did with the chest, went heavy. Now we're going to do a back off, doing 4-second negatives and explode. Just doing that to failure. Don't really care what rep range it's at, as long as we're pushing that as far as we can. It's always hard to keep count on that one. Sometimes you can't even negatives. So I have no idea what I got on that. I'll watch it back and count it, but that's pretty good. That's that exercise done. From here, do an extension. That machine's free now, so we'll go grab that. Alright, so now I've actually got like what is one of my favorite tricep exercises at the minute. It's a seated overhead extension. I put these on my story like last week, I think, or the week before, and I got a few people that tried them and they loved them as well. Obviously it's not my exercise at all, but yeah, it's like an insane stretch through your tricep and get a really nice contraction. It's way better with those B straps that I was using in the video. So they're actually like got loops that you put your hands through so you don't have to hold it. Obviously I don't have those here, I've got the rope. So it's not gonna be as good, but if you can get a hold of those B straps, even if you buy some, so much better. Like the connection, you can just pull through your wrists, you're not worrying about holding on to anything. So highly recommend. It's a little bit of a pro hack for you. Okay, so that was just a feeder set. Sounds like fetus set, but it's a feeder set. Just getting used to that movement before we jump into it with something really heavy. So this rep range will be sort of 10 to 12. Focusing more on the stretch, keep your shoulders down and pulling through the rope. So the only thing about this is getting in and out of it without like a training partner. Fucking sucks, but won't do. Alright, so to finish off triceps, I actually missed that last set, didn't hit record, so that's my fault, but we basically just did a burnout set. Again, just going to failure, dropped it, went to failure, dropped it once more, went to failure. So that was the last set that I missed after the same exercise, the overhead pulls. This one is just a burn, sorry, this one is just going to failure. So we're going to do a rest pause at the end. First we're going to do a working set. I don't really need a warm up for this. So you can go pretty heavy on this, close grip. Yeah. So quite heavy on that, just doing a couple like partials at the end. We've got one more set for that exercise. It's going to be the exact same weight, just to burn out again, and then we're actually wrapped up. So
She say that I'm cool. I'm like, yeah, that's true. I believe in G-O-D. Don't believe in T-H-O-T. I'm a player for fun. Y'all don't need no mental. Let me give you the picture like steps of falling out. In a drought, no flow rain was pouring out. See that thing was all around. See my moments kind of lounge. Flow was cool, but I still feel burned. Energy up, you gon' feel my
I'm actually going to add a drop set to that one. That is us done. So, still like deep, still looking pretty tidy. I mean, we've still got abs. Still got abs, which we wanted to maintain the whole way through, and then still putting on weight, which is good. Yeah, that's pretty. That's pretty tidy for like peak, not peak bulk. I mean, it's still 8 weeks, but. We're going to go home, get some food in the tank as soon as possible, and then really just do some work for the rest of the day. Obviously I'll take you through lunch, post gym meal, lunch, dinner, and then there's one more meal right before bed, or hour before bed, so we'll run through those. Alright, so I'm back home now. I walked straight in the door for meal 3. So this is my post-gym meal. It's actually exactly the same as my pre. It's 100 grams cream of rice, 1 scoop of protein, and then 100 grams of banana, not 150, matched with a BCAA and EAA. Yeah, there's not much else to it. That's really it. So just gonna eat this, sort of relax, hang out on my phone for the time it takes me to eat it, and then we'll jump back into some more work. Got a few calls to make, and then we'll serve up lunch. I usually prep that like twice a week, so I've already got it. It's just in a Tupperware container, so I'll show you that when I pull it out. But for now, we're just going to get this down and sort of take a minute. So, okay, so it's almost 3:30 now. It's been a couple hours since I had that post gym meal. So gonna tackle some lunch now just while I'm at my desk doing some work. So for lunch, I've got 250 grams of rice. Don't know if that's, there we go. 250 grams of rice, 175 grams of chicken, 50 grams of veg. I've just got some red capsicum in there, and I've got a little bit of barbecue sauce on top. So the calories for that are, the macros for that are 65 grams of protein, 106 grams of carbs, 10 grams of 5 grams of fats, and 3 grams of fiber. So for a total of 337 calories. So that is not the biggest meal of the day. That's obviously that pre-gym meal, but definitely the food's getting up there. This will sit me down for a little bit after. So yeah, gonna eat this, and then we'll have dinner in like 2 or 3 hours. Okay, so this is meal 5 for the day. It's now 6:32. Pretty much exactly the same as lunch, but we've swapped the chicken for some steak. So we've got 250 grams of rice, 50 grams of veg going with capsicum again, and then just swapped out the chicken for 175 grams of lean steak. This is eye fillet, just because it's really lean but still tender. It's the only steak that I would ever think about microwaving, which I'm not super happy about, but it just is what it is when you're short for time. Feel pretty shit after today. I don't know if it's just because I'm tired because we're away over the weekend, or if it's because I'm getting sick. There's been a few people around me that have been sick, so just trying to make sure that I don't wake up like that tomorrow. I'm going to be pretty pissed. Also got 0 caffeine, 0 sugar. These are great. I was smashing so many of these before bed, and I probably knew, but I just forgot that they had caffeine in them. And my sleep, I'm someone that's very sensitive, so this has been a bit of a hack and a bit of a game changer, was getting like the 0 caffeine ones. I feel like my sleep actually did improve. So if you're not on them and you want to drink, go for them. That's pretty much it. I've got one more meal before bed, so that'll be my last meal and wrap up the whole day. So I'm gonna eat this, and then I'll meet you guys then. All right, so final meal for the day to wrap this all up. It's 8:15 now. So we've got some salmon with some avocado and some green beans as well. I actually don't think I have green beans. I forgot to get them at the shops. So I buy the salmon, I have 150 grams per night or per meal. So I buy these like pre-diced chunks of salmon and these weigh 300 grams. So I basically just halve these and then I'll sandwich bag the other half for tomorrow night. Cool, so that's half. Put that in the oven for like 10 minutes. Then I'll cut up some avocado and just have that with a bit of soy sauce. And that is me basically done for the day. But for now, I'll get that in the oven. So I'll just sandwich bag the rest of that. That way I know like tomorrow's is already sort of separated and weighed. I can just throw that straight in the oven. This one's got heaps of bones for some reason. So yeah, don't know what's going on there. But yeah, 10 minutes and then we'll eat that final meal. Okay, so oven baked salmon. Got some avocado as well. I need 75 grams of that. I don't have green beans, unfortunately, but I will live. So I also don't know if this avocado is ripe, so this will be interesting. Oh, it's actually pretty good. So it's like not even 9 o'clock and I feel absolutely fucked. And I'm just praying to God that I'm not sick, because that would be a really shitty way to start this whole series, is getting sick on the first day. So oh, how's that? 75 on the dot. This is very weighed. It'll probably be a little bit lighter because it's cooked, but that is fine. No, it's actually exactly the same. Okay, so I realized I didn't actually give the macro breakdown for the last meal, which was dinner. So that breakdown is, so for that last meal, which was dinner, not this one, so the steak meal, the macro breakdown for that is 65 grams of protein, 106 grams of carbs, 10 grams of fat, 3.2 grams of fiber, coming in for 795 calories. This meal, however, is 37 grams of protein, 13 grams of carbs. It won't be quite that with not having the green beans on here, but that's what it usually is. And then 39 grams of fat. So obviously we want a bit higher of a fat meal late at night, just slow down the digestion a little bit to sort of get me through the night while I'm sleeping. So that last meal is 537 calories altogether, which brings us to a daily total of 4,156 calories, 307 grams of protein, 531 grams of carbs, 80 grams of fat, and 37 grams of fiber. So they are the macro breakdown for today. As you saw, this is just the last meal: salmon, avocado. I've got like a little bit of soy sauce just to help get it down. Pretty fucked after today, so hopefully I will film tomorrow. It won't be a full day of eating. I do have to do a bit of meal prep, so I might film that, but I'll definitely be filming tomorrow's back and buys session. So yeah, just praying that I don't wake up sick tomorrow, but for now, I'm gonna call it a night and see you tomorrow. Do I sound like a YouTuber, babe?
Don't forget to like, comment,